You ever wonder why I always say, optimize the gut, boost the metabolism? Did you know they're actually related? You didn't? Well, listen in. Are you ready to ditch the fad diets, ditch the diet dogma, and go beyond the calorie? There is a better way. Welcome to Holistic Health Made Simple, where ancient wisdom and science collide. I'm Jolene, your nutritional therapy practitioner, and I'm here to empower you to think outside the box and finally get healthy. Together, we'll dive into the power of the gut, metabolism, and your overall health. No more yo-yo dieting, no more quick fixes, and no more confusing advice. Just simple, practical, and personalized steps that will help you reach your goals and feel amazing. Are you ready to reclaim your health? Let's do this! Hey there! So, my tagline kind of is reclaim your health by optimizing your gut and boosting metabolism. But did you actually know that your gut health directly affects your metabolism? Like, there's this whole connection there? Your gut's not just this food processor. It's a powerhouse of energy, a regulator of our weight, and a communicator with your brain. Oh my gosh! Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this relationship because I'm hoping that it enlightens you to take your gut health seriously. It goes beyond just illness and immunity and digestion. It affects everything in your body. First off, let's review what our gut microbiome is. Remember, it's that big ecosystem that lives inside of us that is full of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and yeast, and it all likes to be balanced out just like any other natural ecosystem. Now, these microbes, they just don't freeload off our body and what we eat. They're working hard to help you digest the food and extract the nutrients. Now, extracting these nutrients are essential for energy production, growth, repair, and reproduction throughout your body. And I'm not just talking the baby kind. The reproduction of our cells, the regeneration of healthy tissue. Your gut is the beginning of all of that. It's that mini ecosystem that makes everything else thrive. And you need to realize something fascinating about your gut microbiome and your whole digestive tract. It's actually an entity outside your body, unless there's something wrong. But we're not talking about that today. We are going to strictly focus on our gut and our metabolism. Now, we gotta have a primer again about metabolism. Metabolism isn't just about calories. It is every biochemical reaction that takes place inside your body. Yes, it has a lot to do with burning energy or burning calories, but all these other chemical reactions affect the rate at which we burn energy. That's why when I see somebody online say it's only about calories in and calories out, eat less and move more, I know they're full of a crock of you know what, because they don't understand that there's more going in. We are not a closed system. Our system's open. We have all these chemical reactions that affect the rate at which we burn energy. And depending on our gut health, we also have issues at the rate at which we absorb the energy. So there's a whole lot of dynamics going on here. So the ways the gut microbiome affects your metabolism is in a number of ways. The first one that we'll talk about is short-chain fatty acid production. Now, your gut bacteria break down dietary fiber. When they do this, they ferment the fiber and they produce short-chain fatty acids. These molecules boost our energy expenditure. They activate brown fat. And they enhance feelings of fullness and help support a healthy body weight. That is what these short-chain fatty acids do. So science came along and found out what short-chain fatty acids do with our metabolism. So then they tell you to take it exogenously, except it doesn't have the same effect. That's why we want a healthy gut to produce it naturally out of these fibers. Okay? That's the first way our gut microbiome affects our metabolism. The second way is how the microbes trigger inflammation. Now, inflammation is an actual natural response to infection or injury. But you always hear when people talk about reducing inflammation. Inflammation can actually increase our calorie burn, but it can slow down our metabolism overall and lead to overeating, because when we have chronic inflammation or a chronic infection or injury, we tend to get more hungry. It's just this weird balance. So while we want inflammation when we have an infection or injury so that we can heal, we don't really want it throughout our body on a day-to-day basis, because it does lead to overeating, especially if it's chronic or excessive. And that's generally, most people in society live in that chronic inflammation because of all the ultra-processed foods we eat, or the fact that our gut's not working the way it should. That is the main thing, is inflammation is good when we're healing, but bad when we really don't have anything going on other than stress or eating foods that make our body inflamed. Foods we don't tolerate. Sometimes it's ultra-processed foods. Sometimes it's perfectly healthy foods that our body is sensitive to or allergic to. Another thing that the gut microbes do is they influence how fats are processed and absorbed by your body, which is basically fatty acid metabolism. We know that short-chain fatty acids help reduce blood fatty acid levels. Now, this is not your cholesterol. This is actually fat that circulates inside your blood. So it helps contribute to weight management when we reduce blood fatty acid levels, okay? Because they're looking for a place to store. We want them to go out or just go away. On the other hand, there is microbes that can increase the absorption of fat. That's why we always want a balance. We basically want more of the microbes that help us get the fat out of our system or out of our blood versus the ones that make us absorb it. Absorbing means they put it in our fat cells and we get that little, jiggle on our butt, thighs, wherever you gain the weight. So we always want a balance. You need some to be stored later for energy, but we don't want all of it. So we need our gut to be doing the right thing. And it's not just eliminating it from your diet, because that also creates a problem down the road for other things. We need our essential fatty acids for cell health. So now we get into how the gut microbes metabolize bile acids, and why that's important is because these bile acids are produced in the liver to help digest fats. Then the gut microbes metabolize these bile acids. That affects our metabolism. It regulates the inflammation throughout our body and liver fat processing. So it helps us process those fats before anything else happens, which is really, really important. Now, you can see the gut microbiome has a significant impact on your metabolic health. This affects your energy levels, your weight, and your risk of metabolic disorders. Things like type 2 diabetes that none of us want to get, okay? So the gut microbiome's influence doesn't just stop there. It interacts with your brain, affecting your mood, behavior, and cognitive processes. I'll explain the connection between that and your metabolism in a second. The interaction between the gut and the brain is called the gut-brain axis. It is a biodirectional signaling between your central nervous system and your gastrointestinal tract. This means not only can the brain send signals to the gut, but the gut sends signals back to your brain. We can get into the nitty-gritty of that whole connection a little bit later, but why this is so important when it comes to metabolism, there are certain hormones that are produced in your gut that trigger whether you're hungry or whether you're full. And like the last episode, the GLP-1 hormone is also released, which helps with insulin. So we need these signals and this open communication between our brain and our gut to tell us if we're hungry, we're full, and when it needs to produce insulin and when it doesn't, so that we can maintain a healthy body weight and a healthy body. That's part of your metabolism. Your leptin, your ghrelin, your GLP-1, those are all part of your metabolism signaling hormones. They're produced in your gut. They signal to the brain and they tell you when to eat, when to stop eating. And that's where people have this problem with the signalings. Like they say that they can't tell, they're always hungry. They never know when they're full. It's because the gut's not working properly to generate these hormones, to generate this signal to the brain. You see, there's this intimate relationship between a healthy gut and your overall health and your metabolism. So we need to maintain a healthy gut. Again, you're going to ask me, am I going to tell you the same tips over and over again? Yeah, start with the basics, hydration and real food, but we'll go into a little bit more detail today. Yes, eat real foods, yes, but eat a variety of them. That's the biggest way when you look at your foods, consuming a wide range of fruits and vegetables, different colors. Now, you don't have to eat it all in one day. You could space it out through the entire week, but just cycle through things. I know it's easy to get set in your ways and eat the same thing day in and day out, but try to diversify that because it will do your health and your gut good. Now, we want to make sure that we're also including things that have prebiotics in it. These are the non-digestible fibers that nurture the gut bacteria. Again, that's the fiber inside your fruits and vegetables. We also want to consume fermented foods. Y'all know me and my fermented foods. I always suggest sauerkraut or kimchi as the two top ones because they have prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics, which are also your metabolites. And it has recently been found that the probiotics get entrained with the fiber so they don't get digested in your stomach and actually make it down into your intestines, which is even better because that's where we want them. Any fermented vegetable that has fiber will do. Then you also have things like yogurt, kefir, some kombucha, things like that are good to add in as well because it gives you a different set of microbes, a different set of postbiotics with them. But I'm going to tell you right now, yogurt, kefir, and like kombucha, those don't have the prebiotic fibers like a fermented veggie would. Okay, so try to get a variety even in those. And we want to prioritize. You thought I was going to say protein, didn't you? Nope. We want to prioritize omega-3 fatty acids specifically, as well as all our omega fatty acids, but omega-3 because we don't tend to get enough of those. And the top ways to get those is fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts. Omega-3s have an anti-inflammatory property and they support our brain health. And lastly, oh wait people, you know this one. Hydration. Proper hydration is essential for overall health, including your gut function and your brain health. It helps you eliminate the waste, it helps push everything along, and without water, we cannot have the chemical reactions our metabolism requires. Now, you're an individual, so your response to different foods will also vary. So listen to your body. But first, you've got to start eating real foods so you can hear your body. It's time we start looking at ourselves, our bodies, as one being from head to toe and stop trying to micromanage different parts of it like they're not interacted. Your gut is, while an entity of its own, it is still part of the whole you. And holistic health looks at the body from top to bottom, inside and out, to make sure things are running smoothly. You should too. Stop micromanaging your symptoms and look at the bigger picture. You will get healthier, you will maintain and reach that healthy weight, and you will be a happy, healthier you. On that note, friends, I will see you next time. Bye! Thanks for listening in today. I hope you got some nuggets to take on your health journey. Remember, this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. No medical advice is being given. By listening to this podcast, you agree to the full disclaimer which is linked in the show notes. If you found this podcast helpful, could you take 30 seconds and leave a review? Your feedback means the world to me and it helps others discover my show. Once again, thank you for being part of my community. Until next time, have a blessed day.